So, this is podcast number 3. This is the third edition to this podcast. Yes, I told you. I told them that I was going to do this podcast, but, and here I am. There's no buts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me doing this podcast. It's just me doing this podcast. This is what I'm going to do. This will be a bunch of stuff to talk about. I talk about Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Batista's coming back, who's winning that Rumble, predictions from now. It will be different. We'll have a whole separate video for the Rumble next week. The matches for the Rumble so far, leading up to the Royal Rumble, Road to WrestleMania's possible matches as of today, WWE Network stuff, so a little bit of stuff that I didn't talk about in the previous video that I'll be talking about in this video, and some independent wrestling, some Japanese wrestling for you guys to check out if you guys want to watch some other wrestling other than WWE. So let's get started with this podcast. So, yes, I said so for the second, and then I said it again for a third time. There you go. So we got big news. The past 2 weeks, the man, Roman Reigns, has been pretty much being the dominant force of the Shield. They had a little bit of argument within the Shield in the past couple weeks, but the first main event of Monday Night Raw of 2014, we had Roman Reigns going up against CM Punk for the very first time, and due to a distraction of Dean Ambrose, CM Punk did not realize Roman Reigns was behind, setting up for the spear, and once he turned around, boom! He hit that spear clean on CM Punk. 1, 2, 3, 4, the win. It was a decent match. There was near falls. CM Punk hit the elbow. Roman Reigns hit a Superman punch off of when CM Punk hit the springboard. It was fairly exciting in the last couple minutes of that match. Overall, prior to that, it was just a regular match. That was whatever. We also had Daniel Bryan join the Wyatt family in a week, and then leaving the Wyatt family the week after. The whole him turning, becoming a heel, him teaming up with the Wyatt family against the Usos, and who was it? The Usos and CM Punk, I think. I can't remember who. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't think it was Usos and CM Punk. It was the Usos, and I can't remember who else he teamed up with. Anyways, that led to him losing the match and having a Usos going up against Bray Wyatt the week after and Daniel Bryan, which led into disqualification, which then led to a main event of Raw, which was this past week when they had Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt going up against the Usos. Daniel Bryan pretty much ran wild in that match, taking over that match, but it was him doing so that bumped into Bray Wyatt as he was climbing out of the cage to hit the ropes, and Daniel Bryan got laid out, and the Usos got out of there quick. This led to Daniel Bryan turning on Bray Wyatt, hitting him with some kicks, hitting him with a big old knee, him throwing him into the cage to knock off Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, and the steel cage was shut thanks to Kane, who said there will be no interference, and the only way to get out of the cage is to escape the cage via climbing over the cage and not through the door. So that was the case for that, and Daniel Bryan got a huge ovation. But during this match, it was we later found out the day after that Daniel Bryan suffered a concussion. We don't know how severe the concussion will be. So what I think might happen, hopefully he'll be able to be cleared in time for the Royal Rumble, because I do think that Daniel Bryan is the number one favorite right now, or the top 3 favorites to win the Royal Rumble this year and go on to WrestleMania, to main event WrestleMania 30, to face the world champion, to win the world championship. So that's what I'm thinking right now for the road for Daniel Bryan from now until WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan got a huge ovation, and how after that getting that ovation, after all these months, even after turning him heel, even after making him go against the fans, the fans turned on them and said, no, we want this guy to be a face, and they cheered even louder and stronger when Daniel Bryan came back to the good side after being in the dark side for only 2 weeks, which is insanity. We also had Roman Reigns not beating CM Punk once but twice on this week's episode of Raw. CM Punk tagged with the New Age Outlaws going up against the Shield. CM Punk pretty much wrestled the entire match. When he went for the hot tag to tag in one of the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. You can hear the phone in the background. Just ignore that. The New Age Outlaws left him. They left him high and dry. CM Punk was like, "What's going on?" And by the time you know it, he didn't watch for the spear. He got speared once again by Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns beat CM Punk 2 times in a row due to vicious spear, which was pretty crazy. So CM Punk went to the back, started arguing with Kane, whereas Triple H was not in the building that night. And then them two kind of had an altercation saying they don't like each other. So will this lead to a CM Punk versus Kane match at Elimination Chamber, which will then lead to a Triple H versus CM Punk match? Possibly, but I still think Daniel Bryan needs to get his rightful win over Triple H, because that feud was building, and now they're kind of building the CM Punk feud, which then leads to kind of what I'll talk about after. Actually, I'll talk about it now. So, actually, let me talk about Batista return. Batista returned next week, and they've pretty much been building this Batista Alberto Del Rio thing. So I don't know if Batista's planning to win the Royal Rumble and then feud with Del Rio, so he has something to do between then and WrestleMania, and then feud for the championship, or not, because supposedly Batista is supposed to be given, was promised the championship. It doesn't say when he was promised the championship, but when he comes back, he was supposed to be promised the championship. So does that mean he's supposed to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania? Does that mean he's supposed to win at Elimination Chamber? Does he supposed to win later on down the line, if he's wrestling for a couple more months after WrestleMania? We don't know. And right now, for my WrestleMania card, I had John Cena versus Undertaker, I had Brock Lesnar versus Batista, I had Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, I had Randy Orton versus CM Punk as my top 4 matches. And right now, after adding the CM Punk going to Triple H and facing the Authority, all my matches are out of whack. Because if Triple H faces CM Punk, who's going to face Daniel Bryan? Who's going to face Undertaker? So I can still see Triple H versus CM Punk just in a match. I can see Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the titles. Or if Batista wins the Royal Rumble and John Cena beats Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble and then faces Brock Lesnar, because for some apparent reason Brock Lesnar has a championship match that he needs to claim. Brock Lesnar could face either John Cena or Randy Orton and win the title, and then Batista could win the Royal Rumble and face Brock Lesnar for the championship. They could go that way, but then it's like, what do you do with Cena, Taker, Bryan, and Orton? And then you could see Taker, Cena, and then you see Bryan, Orton without the title, but you really want to see that? You saw that match on Raw and many pay-per-views already. So they could go with that. So it's just, by this year's WrestleMania, I think, is the most confusing WrestleMania card we've had in quite some time. Every WrestleMania, we have this one certain match we could think of that's actually going to happen. This year's WrestleMania, there's so many stars right now in the company that anyone could face anyone right now, and it could be a top match. Like, Triple H could face Bryan or Punk. Randy Orton could face... Who can Randy Orton... Randy Orton really doesn't have a guy to face unless if he's not champion, because it seems quite weird right now of where the position Randy Orton's in for WrestleMania, because I can't see him feuding with anyone going to WrestleMania. He could feud with Batista, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can see him feuding with. Who else is there? We have Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar go up against The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar go up against John Cena. Brock Lesnar could even go up against Daniel Bryan. Imagine we saw Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Daniel Bryan just won the Royal Rumble. He goes into WrestleMania, hits that flying knee, and beats Brock Lesnar for the championship. Imagine how big of an ovation Daniel Bryan would get if Daniel Bryan beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. That would solidify him as one of the top guys, being a top major beast like Brock Lesnar, showing how the underdog. That would be the ultimate underdog story. The 5'10" or 5'7", 200-pound Daniel Bryan beats the 6'3", 320-pound Brock Lesnar. That would be insane. So right now, who I think will be winning the Royal Rumble right now? Well, since Brock Lesnar and the Big Show, which Brock Lesnar said on the behalf of Paul Heyman after Big Show sent out the challenge, Paul Heyman accepted the challenge for Brock Lesnar, and the way to build up this match, what did they do on Raw? Big Show knocked out Swagger and knocked out Zeb Coulter, which was great. Yeah, great way to build up Brock Lesnar versus Big Show match at Royal Rumble. And we've seen this match 11 years ago. Not saying that it's long time, like, not saying it's being redone. It kind of is being redone, but it's just the match is so long. It's like, wow, like Brock Lesnar's been, like, the length of time that he was gone, and how long these two guys have been in and out of wrestling. It's just like, wow. Like you said in 2003 that this match will happen 11 years in 2014. Like, why? Shouldn't there be new up and coming guys? Should Brock Lesnar and Big Show be fighting the new guys? And it's kind of weird them facing each other 11 years later. It's just like, it's kind of weird, and it's kind of like, why waste these two guys on a match like that at the Royal Rumble? And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make people, like, entice people. Like, yeah, we got the Rumble match, we got Cena and Orton, we got a title match, and then we got Brock Lesnar on the pay-per-view card, and trying to draw one of their last pay-per-view events before the network comes in, which is a segue into the network talk of a couple topics I left out on my video that I made on Monday about the WWE Network. DVD collecting, I'll talk about that. Might be a bit repetitive for people that listen to the other one. And something else that I missed out too about the footage online that you could find. So DVD collecting. What I think, most people think this is kind of like the end of the DVD collecting, Blu-ray collecting video footage of wrestling. And what I think is, no, it might decrease, but it's not going to be killed off, because WWE right now is already kind of killing off their pay-per-view business and putting it onto the network. So instead of you buying it on pay-per-view, you could just pay for the network and guarantee them $120 per year, and having more people buy the network for paying $260 installments, which is equivalent to buying 2 pay-per-views a year, versus people buying pay-per-views here and there, or 2 to 3, or sometimes 4. If you're lucky, it's 6. I'm the guy that usually buys 6 to 8 pay-per-views a year. I usually buy 6, and I go watch a couple in the movie theaters, which they do in Canada, so you could do that. But for people that just can't afford it, $54.99 on everyone could afford $10 a month. Everyone wastes $10 a month on literally nothing. It's literally, you're paying, 33 cents a day. You could walk around just like any day, and you probably could find 33 cents on the floor every day. That's how little the WWE Network costs. And not like they're charging you $60 in one-time installment, which I would rather prefer, because it just gets it out of the way, and like, bam, $60 there, you don't bother me for 6 months, versus $10 a month, which they probably might have the option to do, but you're getting charged $9.99 a month in your credit card bill. It's nothing. It's insignificant money, $10 a month. So I think it's pretty good. So the DVD collecting, they're already getting rid of pay-per-views. They're getting rid of one revenue stream, but making it to the WWE Network. Why would they get rid of another revenue stream of DVDs, which they make off of selling around the world? Like, people buy DVDs everywhere. Every time they open a new WWE market, they release the older pay-per-views, and they start opening up newer and new ones. That's another revenue stream that would go away if they just stop making DVDs and just release them all in network. That makes no sense. People still have a demand to buy documentaries and stuff which come out. If an Undertaker documentary comes out at the end of the year, you think they're going to release that thing on the network? No, they probably won't. If it came out in December, they wouldn't show the Undertaker release documentary until probably WrestleMania season. Probably around like a couple days before Mania, because they would probably talk about all the Undertaker things, and Undertaker is WrestleMania, and like that. people are gonna go seek and buy that because The Undertaker has never made a documentary. In August of this year, Paul Heyman will be coming out with a documentary. You think they're gonna release that on the network? No. When it comes out in August, they probably won't show it on the network until November, and they're not going to show everything on the network. Not all those special Blu-ray content. Like usually now, every time they release a Blu-ray documentary, since they have so much hours of footage, that they'll release an extra hour to 2 hours of just random stories that they didn't have time to put in the 2-hour documentary length. You think those extra features are going to be on the network? No. Why would they kill that off? There would be no reason for you to buy a Blu-ray or a DVD to have all that content versus you just go watching on the network. The actual documentary probably will be aired on like a live thing where you could go watch it and then watch it later on, but it probably won't. Probably be like a special premiere feature on the network months and months after the actual DVD is released. And for pay-per-view wise, I think people will still buy pay-per-views if they like it and then don't. If you go to the event, you'll probably end up buying the pay-per-view. WrestleMania will always probably do good sales on pay-per-view because people just like to own and collect WrestleManias. That's why, yet I have the anthology set. I still own the 3-disc sets of WrestleMania because of all the special features. And even people that buy Netflix, people go and watch Breaking Bad on Netflix. You can watch all the seasons except the last season. People still go to stores and buy the Breaking Bad seasons to go watch them. You can watch How I Met Your Mother, Family Guy. Netflix has their original show called House of Cards, and you can pay your $8 and watch the series. Yet people still go to the store and pay for the actual DVD of the season because they want to own it, they want to have it. The same thing goes with WWE Network. Still, people still want to own footage, even though it's online. Sometimes you just want to just pop in a DVD and just watch it. People like to own the content. Even though it might always be there, you never know if it ever goes away. Everything could just go away. Some stuff could get cycled off the network. Some stuff could just get like, oh, since people don't want to watch this, some WCW or ECW or WW, old WWF or WWE stuff, they'll cycle it out because they're paying less for their network. Cycle out the old videos and add new videos and replace that. Save them bandwidth and storage, like bandwidth and just space on their actual network, because it costs money. The more videos you have, the more money it costs for them to pay whatever servers they're having. So the content that they cycle out won't always be there. So that's why I think that not all 100,000 hours of WWE Network will be on there. There will probably be always 1,500 hours of stuff, but every month or every cycle, they'll always circle stuff out. Like they'll take off some videos no one watched. They'll probably obviously have the statistics on stuff that people watch. They'll add stuff that people actually do want to watch, and keep the stuff, or just take out the stuff people don't want to watch, and then just add in other things. Like if people like watching Mid-South, they'll probably start taking off some stuff and adding more Mid-South or all that. That's what I think about the network. And for the footage that you could actually find online, say all these torrents and YouTube and Daily Motion, all this stuff you find online, that's going to be gone. All the YouTube stuff, all that's going to be gone. You're not going to be able to find that YouTube footage. You think you can find Royal Rumble 1999 now. In 3 months, you're not going to be finding Royal Rumble 1999. WWE probably has a whole team of people just dedicated to searching piracy online to get stuff deleted off the internet. So all these torrents that you have to go search for to find old WCW footage if you really want to look for it, all this stuff you find on YouTube and Daily Motion, all the stuff that's posted right away, all be gone. And stuff that I heard now, if you start uploading videos of WWE content, they'll actually put the third-party content, copyright content, on it before it even gets posted, because they have a detector for it now on YouTube that WWE has set up for with them, because they're a huge channel on YouTube. They generate millions upon millions of views for YouTube, which helps YouTube make money and helps them make money. Their YouTube alone is a revenue stream for them. So that's the WWE Network, and all this hassle for you to actually go and search for all these pay-per-views. Why would you not pay the $9.99? This is actually going to help prevent internet, like lower the wrestling piracy for the internet, for WWE, and it just helps overall. And will it help the other live pay-per-view streams that happens in wrestling? It probably will. They probably learn from it, and try to upgrade, but not like how the extent of WWE, but try to like at least have quality in their streams. So right now, that's that. We talked about Roman Reigns. We talked about Daniel Bryan. Batista's coming back. The top 3 people I think most likely to win the Royal Rumble this year so far today: Daniel Bryan, Batista, CM Punk, and the final 4 that will be in the 4, Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns, on SmackDown they said no matter what happens, we'll eliminate each other, but after the end of the day, we'll always still be a team. I think Roman Reigns will be the cause of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins being eliminated from the Royal Rumble match, and it won't break them up right away, but it will be another seed planted for them to be the Shield to finally dissipate and be broken. Will I think this happen at WrestleMania? I don't want it to happen at WrestleMania. I would rather have like a Wyatt family versus like the Shield match at WrestleMania and like lead that to SummerSlam, because it's still a team. Like there's not that many stables in WWE that are actually strong. The Shield, no matter what people say, the Shield is strong as a unit. And when you like dissipate these guys, will we see flaws in Roman Reigns? Probably. What happens to Seth Rollins? Where does Dean Ambrose go? It's just like these guys right now are better as a team than being separated. For right now, who I think is going to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, probably Cena. Maybe Brock Lesnar. And if Cena's not facing Taker, who is Cena going to face? That's the real question. Because last year we knew Cena was facing The Rock. The year before that, we knew a year in advance who was Cena facing The Rock. WrestleMania 27 was a chance where I thought Cena was going to face Undertaker, but then they had the whole Sting deal, and then Triple H came out of nowhere, and then it was just Triple H Undertaker. And then 26, it was like, well, Undertaker's booked up, so he can't face Cena. It was Cena Michaels. And then 25 was, I thought Cena could face Taker, but they went another direction, which was a great direction. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, and one of the lackluster main events of all time of Triple H and Randy Orton. What else is there? That's pretty much it. What else we got? Oh, so some wrestling you can check out if you want to watch the New Japan Tokyo Dome show. You don't got to watch the whole show. You could watch the tag team matches, the first tag team match to open the show, and the last 3 main events. I think people will enjoy as wrestling wise. The match with Prince Devitt, the junior heavyweight champion. We get the match with Okada, their world champion, and the match with Tanahashi for the Intercontinental Championship. This is New Japan's WrestleMania. And think about this. Their WrestleMania, they had the Intercontinental Championship close the show. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because it was a great match, and it was with one of their biggest stars. But the equivalence to this would be if WWE built up Biggie Langston so much, built up the Intercontinental Championship that much, to where John Cena faced Biggie Langston in the main event of WrestleMania, and then won the championship, and people went crazy. That was that's kind of like what the New Japan main event was. And then we had, but I think the Okada match for the world title should have been the last match on the show, because I think it was better of the 2 matches, even though the main event had much more, like the crowd was going nuts for the main event versus the world title match. And the Prince Devitt probably came out in one of the coolest wrestling attires ever in wrestling history. You gotta go check that out. And that's that. So if you want to watch some New Japan, some Japanese wrestling, go check out New Japan Tokyo Dome show. I believe it's almost 2 weeks old now, so you can find the internet somewhere. It was available to purchase for $35 live, and for week and a half of on demand, but that's gone now. And then if you want to watch some Ring of Honor wrestling, Ring of Honor last week, so it's available probably right now if you go to ringofhonorwrestling.com to all members if you signed up, which is free. The main event of that show is Kevin Steen going up against Chris Hero. I have not watched this match yet, but I will watch it, and I think you should recommend for you to go check it out. Well, Kevin Steen going up against the returning Cassius Ohno, being released from WWE, which is the returning Chris Hero of Ring of Honor. So that's pretty much it. That is my little podcast for you today. I wanted to make this under half an hour, between 20 to 30 minutes for you, just a quick listen. Try to get quality versus quantity. Rather have a short, sweet podcast versus a long and dulled out, boring podcast. And this is what I'll be trying to do every single week, once or maybe twice a week. Who knows? And next week I'll be doing a recap of Raw. I'll recap SmackDown if it was any good. There's supposed to be a tag match. The New Age Outlaws going against Cody Rhodes and Goldust, which I'll be watching. I'll just do a quick review on that. Oh, I forgot to do one more thing. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about this. Big stuff that happened on Raw. When Randy Orton versus... I forgot to review Randy Orton versus Cena. Randy Orton versus Cena happened. Actually, Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston happened. A blowaway match that you thought Randy Orton was going to win, which happened because Randy Orton was trying to find Triple H to talk him out of him having a match at the Royal Rumble, because he was already facing John. He already beat John Cena, and he just got a match with Kofi Kingston. So you thought it was a normal match. It was a whatever match, and all of a sudden, Kofi Kingston hit the SOS for the 1, 2, 3. Beat Randy Orton clean in the middle of that ring. Randy Orton went nuts. Kofi Kingston got out of there. Randy Orton threw a table. He walked down the around the ring, saw John Cena's dad at front row. He didn't flip him over and hit him with the punt like he did in 2007, but he did start laying punches on him. Security backed him away. Cena came down. Orton ran off. Cena helped his dad, and then they pushed everyone away. And then they stretched Cena and Cena's dad out of there. So this feud has gotten personal. So, yeah, John Cena could possibly win the title at the Royal Rumble, lose at elimination against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar and Batista face at WrestleMania 30. That could very well possibly happen. And then Batista beats Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Could happen. Who knows? But right now, that's what I think could possibly happen. I think that would be the better way of the two. Or John Cena or Randy Orton beats John Cena. Since Randy Orton is having problems with the Authority, Triple H faces Randy Orton for the title, beats Randy Orton for the title, and then Daniel Bryan wins the Rumble, and then Triple H faces Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. And then some way CM Punk gets in a feud with Randy Orton. So that's my thoughts right there. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me stumble my words throughout every 5 minutes or so in this podcast, maybe less. But thank you for enduring the entire podcast. If you listen to this entire podcast, please leave a comment down. Tweet me for any critiques if you enjoyed the podcast, if you hate the podcast. If you have any suggestions of stuff for me to review or anything like that, or whatever. And that's about it. So I'll catch you on the next one, I guess. And that is all.